Hi students, so today we are going to see continuation of this part 5, video part 5, it is 5th video in the first chapter. Okay, so we are going to see a very important thing today, that is proofs of irrationalities of root 2, root 3 and root 5. Okay, so we discussed all these numbers are non-terminating, non-recurring numbers, so they are irrational, right? So we need to prove that there are two different methods. One is a square division method and another one is a logical method. Okay, so let's start with the square division method. Okay, so what is square division? First let us understand what is square division by solving one example. So there is a number 169. I need to do the square division of this number. So how do you do square division? Say we need to group numbers in such a way that in a pair we have to group from the right hand side. So if there are 5 numbers, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have to group it in such a way that one pair, another pair and one single number. If it is 4 number, one pair, another pair. Okay, if it is a 3 number, so this is one pair and one pair. So like that we have to pair them first. So this is what we do in square division. I'm just explaining what is square division so that I will do it faster. Okay, so now I need to take this number. So this is 1, right? So I need to find out a number whose combination, that is square of two numbers, will give you 1. So that is 1 into 1, 1. Okay, so that is why I'll write 1 here and 1 here. So 1 ones are 1. Okay, and then we have to subtract this. So 1 minus 1, 0. Okay, so this is 69. Okay, so the next step is whatever you multiply, the same number we need to add here. Okay, so 1 plus 1 is 2. That's the thing now, right? So now what I should do is I should multiply some number here and the same digit has to be multiplied, so we should get 69. Okay, so 2 into what number into the what number will give you 9. So there are two things, either 23 into 3 will give you 9 ending with 9, or 27 into 7 will give you ending with 9, but the result should also give you 69. So 23 into 3 will give you 69. Whereas 27 into 7 is very big number which is not given to 69. That is the reason we just have to write 3 here and same number 3 we have to write. So this will be 69 and there is no remainder left. So this is what square division. Okay. So to understand better, one more example will give you 225 square division of that. So what is the first step? You pair this number and this number, right? So now what number? 1 into 1 will give you 1, but 2 into 2 will give you 4. 4 is more than 2, so we cannot take this. We take 1 ones are. So 1 ones are 1. We end up with what? 2 minus 1? 1 only. So 25 we take it as it is. Okay. And also we write this 1. 1 plus 1 we have to add. So 1 plus 1 is 2. Now 2 and something is there. Into something should give you 5. That is possible only if it is 5. So 25 5s are 125. So I should write 5 here and 5 here. So we get 125, no remainder. So that means square root of 225 is 15. Square root of 169 is 13. Okay. So this is the method we are going to use in finding the square root of 2, square root of 3 and square root of 5. So this is the square division method. Okay. Let's see. So let us start with 2 now. So I need to do the square division for 2. Okay. So now there is no other number left. We can have too many zeros after decimal. We can do that. Okay. So now I just have to take 1. 1's are 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. And I have this 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay. So now I have to put a decimal here. So once I put a decimal, I can take any number of zeros. Okay, so I'll take 1 0, but if I put 20 into 0, 0 to be there. So I need to take, if I put 1 decimal, I can take 2 zeros at a time. Okay, so now what I should do is 2 into some 2 and one more digit is there into something should give you very near to 100. Okay, 25 5s will be 125. So let's go for 24 4s. So 24 4s are 1.4 we got now. Okay, so 24 4s are 96. I end up with 4. Okay, so now what I should do, I should add the same 4 to this number and make it 28. Okay, now I need to bring 2 more zeros. Okay, now 28 is there. I need to have one more digit, and into the same digit should give you something less than 400 or equal to 400. So if I even go for 2, it will be crossing 400. So I should go for 1 only. 281 ones are. So 281 ones are 281. So when I subtract, I get 9 here, 19. So 119 I get. Okay. So I'll bring 2 more zeros, and what I wrote here, same number I need to add here, 282 now. Okay. So the next step is, so how many times you can think of 282 is there. So I need to multiply 2802 and one more digit into something should give you somewhere around 11,900. So I can go for 282 fives are, but 28 fives are, 2800 fives are will cross even more than, it will even cross the 12,000. So I should go for 4s are, 4 4s are. So when you multiply this 28 4s are, we get 11,200. Yeah, 11,200. 24 4s are 96. So we end up with 11,296. Okay. Yes. So now we have taken subtract. This 4 is there. So 7 minus 2 is going to be 8 minus 2 is going to be 6 now. So this is gone. So now I have got what number? 4s are. So 4 plus 4, 2828. Okay. Now I need to again bring 2 more zeros. So how many times I can do? 2 times I can do now. Can I do 2 times? Check. 28,282 into 2. So 28,002 is 56,564. We get 56,564. Okay. So again in that 36 is here, and then 13 minus 5 is 8. So we end up with 59 minus 3, 3008. So this will never stop. This goes on. Okay. So as it goes on, I can understand this number will never stop. So, and what kind of number it is? It's a non-terminating, non-recurring number. So I can say, I can stop at this point and say, as we are square dividing this 2, square division is not giving you one particular pattern. It keeps on going till infinity. It will never stop. So what I mean by that? Root 2 is a irrational number, because root 2 is what kind of number? It is non-terminating, non-recurring decimal. So that is the reason it is irrational. Okay. This is one method of solving and proving it as irrational number. So another method is logical method. What is the logical method? Let's see. So the logical method will be, we don't have to do this much calculation and all. We need to use some statements, logical statements, and answer. Okay. So what is that? So first basic thing is a rational number in the form of a by b, where a comma b belongs to z and b is not equal to 0. So one important rule is this a and b should not have any common factors other than 1. That means a and b must be co-prime. Okay. If this a and b is not co-prime, then we can say a by b is not rational. Okay. So we are going to use this logic to explain the irrationality of root 2. Okay. So now let us consider alternative method. In the alternative method, let us assume root 2 is rational and say root 2 is equal to a by b. Okay. So now I can say root 2b is equal to a. Okay. Now the next step is square on both the sides. We end up with 2b square is equal to a square. Okay. This means a square is a multiple of 2. That also indicates a is a multiple of 2. That's possible. So this is my statement 1. Okay. Now let us assume a square is multiple of 2, no? So assume, let us assume a square is equal to, so a itself is 2c. A is a multiple of 2, no? A is some, c is some other integer. Okay. So as is a multiple of 2, we can say c is an integer. Okay, so now what we do is again square on both sides. So what we get is a square is equal to 4c square. Okay, and what we are told here is a square is equal to 2b square. So using that we can say 2b square is equal to 4c square. Okay, so again 2 ones are 2 twos are, so b square is equal to 2c square, which will again give you b square is a multiple of 2. So which indicates b is also multiple of 2. Now observe statement 1 and 2. From 1 and 2, a and b have a common factor, that is 2. Okay, which is not acceptable if a by b is rational. So which indicates a by b is not rational, that is root 2 is not rational. So this is the logical method. Okay, so just observe again. We first assume root 2 as a rational number. Let us say root 2 is equal to a by b. Okay, so then we can rearrange this. Root 2b is equal to a, squaring on both sides. 2b square is equal to a square. So a square is a multiple of 2, means obviously a is also multiple of 2. That's our first statement. The second thing is, let us assume as a is a multiple of 2, let us assume a is equal to 2 into something else, that is c, which is an integer. Okay, again we square on both sides to get a square. So a square is equal to 4c square, and we know a square is equal to 2b square. We substitute here in the place of a square. So 2b square is equal to 4c square, and when we multiply we get b square is equal to 2c square. So when you see the same logic, we end up here a square is equal to 2b square, here b square is equal to 2c square. So we can say b square is a multiple of 2 and b is a multiple of 2. So I understood a is a multiple of 2, b is also a multiple of 2. That means what? If a rational number is a by b, a and b should not have any common factor. But here what we are getting is a and b have a common factor 2, which is not acceptable because if a by b is rational. So that means it is contradicting the condition. So that is the reason a by b is not rational. That is root 2 is not rational. So root 2 is irrational. So this is the logical proof we are going to use. Okay. Now, so the same thing you are going to use for root 3 and root 5. So I am not going to explain that. Okay. So proofs of irrationalities of root 3 and root 5. It is anyway there in the textbook, and you have to, that's your assignment. So what is your assignment now? Proving the irrationalities of root 3 and root 5. It is very important. You may get it in the final exam as a question, main question. Okay. So just try to learn that same way. Same method. For logical method it is same, but square division method you have to divide 3. Okay. And you have to square divide 5. So that is your work. So you are going to do it from the textbook. Okay. Now I'll go for some examples. Some examples in your book. So that will be the end of this video. And then next video we are going to see exercise problems. That is 1B. Okay. So there is a question here. Example 3. Prove root 5 minus root 3 is irrational. So how to prove this? So now we go for logical method only, because we cannot do the square division for this sum, right? So assume root 5 minus root 3 is rational. Okay, so we need to assume this, and we need to, if it's not possible to prove this is rational, this assumption is wrong, we'll come back to this and say it is irrational. So then take root 5 minus root 3 is equal to x, where x is a rational number. Okay, now square on both sides. So we end up with x square is equal to root 5 whole square. What is a minus b whole square? A minus b whole square is a square plus b square minus 2 into a into b. Okay, so we end up with x square equal to 5 plus 3 minus 2 root 50. Okay, so rearrange this. X square minus 8 is equal to 2 root 15. We end up with x square minus 8 by 2 is equal to root 15. Okay, so what we have seen is x is a rational number, so x square is also a rational number, right? So now what happens is this x, we know that root 15 is irrational. If root 15 is irrational, x square minus 8 by 2 is irrational. So a number should be irrational if it has a content rational in that, okay? So if it is, but we know 8 is rational. We also know 2 is rational. That means the only irrational part is the unknown value. Irrational part is x square. So x square is irrational. It indicates x is also irrational. If x is irrational, so that indicates the number root 5 minus root 3 is irrational. So this is how you prove this. Okay? This is the method. So assume root 5 minus root 3 as a rational number and proceed it as x. X is taken as a rational number, and when we square it, we end up with the irrational part 2 root 15. So when I further solve that, x square minus 8 by 2 will be equal to 15, root 15. Root 15 is irrational, very clear for us, because root 15 has root 3 into root 5. Okay, so that means root 15 is irrational. If root 15 is irrational, x square minus 8 by 2 is irrational. So we need to find out where is the irrational part. So when I see 8 is not irrational, 8 is rational, 2 is rational, so this will be ruled out. So only x square must be irrational. If x square is irrational, x is also irrational. If x is irrational, the number what we have taken is not rational, it is going to be irrational. So this is how we prove that. Okay. So now there is one more example, that is your work. What is that? That is example 4, which says prove root 8 plus 5 is irrational. Same method, there is no change in that, only the number will be changed. Okay, so whereas the method is all same, so this you are going to do it yourself. So that is also your assignment. So I will be checking it on the live session. So who is doing this assignment, I will be checking it. So don't ignore this. I will be knowing what assignments are given, so I will be asking you. So if you are having any doubt, first you should have finished your assignment, then only you can ask me doubts in that. Okay, so you will be showing the assignment to me. Okay, so that is the question, root 8 plus 5 is irrational. Then we have one more example which says identify each of the following as rational and irrational. So we have to find out whether it is rational or irrational. Root 12. So root 12 is irrational or not. So how to understand the given number is irrational or not? So if we have an irrational part in that which cannot be solved further, and that is going to be irrational. So let us assume, let us take it as, let us simplify this. Factorize this 12. So when the 12 is factorized with the prime numbers 2, 2, 2, 6 and 2, 3. So I can write 12 as 2 square into 3, which can be written as root of 2 square into root 3. So what is square root, and square will cancel, we end up with 2 root 3. This cannot be further simplified, okay, because root 3, so that means root 3 is irrational. So as root 3 is irrational, it also indicates 2 times root 3 is also irrational. Okay, so another example we have is 3 root 2 into root 8. So the second question is 3 root 2 into root 8. Let's see it is irrational or not. Okay, first 8 is equal to 2 cube, right? So we can write it as 3 root 2 as it is into root 2 square into 2. Okay, so we end up with 3 root 2 into 2 square whole root into 1 more root 2. So this square cancels, and root 2 into root 2 is again 2. So we end up with 3 into root 2 is 2, and one more 2. We end up with 12. So 12 is rational. That means the given number is nothing but 12. So 12 is rational. So that means the given number is, this number is rational. So the first example is irrational, second example is rational. Okay, so getting it? That's a method. So now next question is how to insert a rational number between two rational numbers and how to insert a rational number between two irrational numbers. Okay, so we need to, did you understand that? Inserting two rational numbers, between two rational numbers we need to insert one rational number. Also the next thing is insert an irrational number between two irrational numbers. Okay, how to insert a rational number between two rational numbers. So the method is very simple. If A and B are rational numbers, then A plus B by 2 is a rational number. First I have to say where A is less than B. Okay, rational number such that A is less than A plus B by 2, which is less than B. Okay, so that means A and B are rational numbers, A plus B by 2 is also a rational number. Okay, that is finding rational number between two rational numbers. Now how to insert an irrational number between two irrational numbers. Okay, if A and B are two irrational numbers such that A is less than B, then root of AB whose value is not a perfect square, where AB is not a perfect square, will be an irrational number. How it is that? That is nothing but such that A is less than root of AB, which is less than B. Okay, so this is a method, but it has to be very clear, which is not a perfect square. So if it is a perfect square, then we don't have a rational number between the two given rational numbers. Okay, so to insert a rational number between two irrational numbers, we need to understand that. So A and B are the two irrational numbers, means the number between them must be a rational number that is taken by the square root of AB, and that number will be not a perfect square, then only it will be there. For example, between root 2 and root 3, I need to have a irrational numbers. So root 2 value is 1.4 something, root 3 value is 1.7 something. So whatever the value we find should be between 1.4 and 1.7. So we go for root 2 into root 3 square root. Okay, so when we do that, we end up with square root of square root 6. So that will be the number which is between root 2 and root 3. That is an irrational number between them. Okay. So we can even so there is examples given here. Let's see. Let's solve some more examples and wind up with that. This video, part 5. So the question here is, find the two irrational numbers between 2 and 3. Okay, first 3 and 4. First we are going to find the rational number. So how to find the rational between 3 and 4? So given 3 is less than 4. So 3 plus 4 by 2, which is 7 by 2, which is 3.5. So and we see 3 is less than 3.5, less than 4, and 3.5 is the rational number required for us between 3 and 4. Okay. Now coming to irrational number. So square root of 3 into 4, which is square root of 12. And 12 is not a perfect square. And root 12 is definitely is an irrational number. So that means what? Root 12 is a irrational number between 3 and 4. Okay. So same thing they have done for 2 and 3. That is the second example. Question number 7. Example number 7. You can try that later. So next what we have is, examine each of the following as a rational number or an irrational number. Example 8. This number, is it rational or irrational? We have to examine. So it is in the form of a plus b whole square. So what is a plus b whole square? Full form: a square plus b square plus 2ab. A plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So we are going to do that. So 3 square plus root 2 whole square plus 2 into root 2 into 3. Okay, so what we do this, 9 plus root 2 square is 2 only, 2 into 3 into root 2. We end up with 11 plus 6 root 2. So now you see 11 is rational, correct. 6 is also rational, correct. But root 2 is irrational. Because of this combination, 11 plus 6 root 2 is irrational. So what do you understand? A sum of a rational number and a irrational number will give you irrational number only, because you cannot add a rational number and a irrational number. Okay. Similarly, a product of a rational number and an irrational number will also give you irrational number only. Okay. So another example is there, that is 3 plus root 3 into 3 minus root 3. So what is the format we have here? So it is of the form a plus b into a minus b, which is a square minus b square. So I can say this is 3 square minus root 3 whole square. Okay, so 3 square minus 3. That is 9 minus 3, 6. So 6 is rational. That means the given number is rational. We checked it, it is rational. Okay. So and you need to understand 3 plus root 3 is rational, 3 minus root 3 is rational. But the product of two irrational numbers is coming out to be rational. It is not a rule. It is not a rule. Sometimes they can be turned out to be irrational also. That means I can say product of the two irrational numbers need not be rational, need not be irrational also. Okay, we end up with rational sometimes. So there is no rule that it has to be always rational. I can say they need not be irrational always. So remember that. So again, third example, we have 6 by root 3. So I need to eliminate this root 3 in the denominator. So what I am going to do is, I am going to multiply. This you will understand later, this method in the next session. Okay. So I don't want this root 3 in the denominator because I cannot understand this and I cannot solve it. So this is called rationalization of the denominator. So we just multiply the same thing. So root 3 to root 3 will become 3. So we end up with 6 root 3 by 3. 3 ones are 3 twos are. So we end up with 2 root 3. So can you tell me 2 root 3 is irrational or rational? Root 3 is irrational, which is multiplied by 2, the doubled. The irrational number is simply doubled. So it is not going to be rational, it is irrational. Okay, that means the given example is irrational. Okay. So one important example here. Okay. Insert two rational numbers and two irrational numbers between root 3 and root 7. Two irrational numbers, two rational numbers. Okay. So root 3 and root 7. Okay. So we just have to find out the two rational numbers between them. So what we have to understand now, we know root 3 value is what, 1.7. Okay, root 7 value will be more than 2, less than 3. Okay, so now I need to find, instead of doing this, we take 3 and 7 because we are talking about rational numbers. To insert two rational numbers, what we do? To insert two rational numbers, what we are going to do is, we are going to simply take a number between 3 and 7 whose square root should be a perfect square. Okay, so that because perfect square should be there. If it is not perfect square, we don't know, it may end up with irrational number. Okay, so which is a perfect square between 3 and 7? 4, right? So any other number whose because we are not talking about root 3 and 7, we are talking about root 3 and root 7. That is why we need to take a square root of this. Square root of this is 2. Okay, so 2 is a number, so that means root 4 is a number between root 3 and root 7. So that is a perfect square. So similarly, what we have, one more number I can take. What the example they have taken is 5.76. Will 5.76 lie between 3 and 7? Yes, 5.76 lie between 3 and 7. And what is the square root of that? Square root of that is 2.4. So 2 and 2.4, these two are the these two are the rational numbers between root 3 and root 7. Okay. So root 7 value is 1.3, 1.7 something. Root 3 value, root 7 value is more than 2, I said no. So 2 is between these two, 2.4 is also between these two. So that is how you do that. I'll explain again. Root 3 and root 7. I need to insert two rational numbers between root 3 and root 7. So what is the actual approach? So forget root 3 and root 7. Take 3 and 7. Okay. Any perfect square you have to guess between 3 and 7. We have only one perfect square, 4. That means we need to identify some other square. It may be decimal also. So I can go for 24 4s, 576. So 2.4 4s, square of 2.4 is 5.76. So what is square root of 4? 2. Square root of this is 2.4. So these are the two numbers we are looking at, the rational numbers between root 3 and root 7. Okay. So because you again know root 3 value is 1.7, root 7 value will be 2.5 something. So the numbers what we are looking at is between the 2 and 2.4. So instead of taking 5.76, you could have taken some other number. So how to understand that? Say 4.00. Assume 400. Okay. So I have 4.41 also. That is 441 square root is 21. So 4.41 square root is, root of 4.41 is 2.1. So I can even take 2.1 as an answer. It is not really specifically 2.4. You can take 2.1 also. You can take 2.2 also, 2.3, anything. But you should be knowing root 7 is more than 2.4. Then only it's correct. So in this case it's correct. Root 7 is more than 2.4. And how to insert irrational numbers, you know already. Two irrational numbers you have to get right. So we have to choose any two irrational numbers between. Now we are going to do the opposite now. Between root 3 and root 7, we need to take any two numbers which are not a perfect square. It's exactly opposite to what we did here. Here what we did is, we were taking 4 and 5.76, they are perfect squares, right? Now you consider between 3 and 7, which is not a perfect square. That is 5 I can take and 6 I can take. Okay. So square root of that will be the required numbers. So square root of 3 is less than square root of 7. So between them square root of 5 and square root of 6. These two are irrational numbers. You can see that now. So no other important thing is required. So if it is only one irrational numbers, we take the square root of this into this. But we need two irrational numbers. So here what we are going to do is, we are going to find a number which is not a perfect square between the 3 and 7. So it's not between root 3 and root 7. We are talking about 3 and 7. Then we take the square root of that. That will be the required irrational number. Okay. That is how we insert two irrational numbers. Yeah. So final properties of irrational numbers, that is combination of irrational numbers. Important thing to note. Okay, so what they're saying is negative of an irrational number is irrational number. That is one thing. Negative of an irrational number is always irrational. Okay, so for example, root 2 is irrational, then minus root 2 is also irrational. Okay, if x is irrational, then minus x is also irrational. Okay, second thing, a sum or a difference or product or even quotient of two irrational numbers need not be, very important word, this I already discussed now, right? Need not be irrational. For example, 3 plus root 2, 3 minus root 2, these two are irrational. But when you add them, what happens is root 2 cancels, we end up with 6. But 6 turns out to be rational. That's an example for sum. Okay. Similarly, root 2 plus 3, then root 2 minus 3. Okay. Then subtract this. When you subtract, what happens is root 2 cancels. So 3 minus of minus 3 is plus 3. We end up with 6, which is again rational. Okay. Now I have root 2 is irrational. Root 2 is irrational. Take the product. So root 2 into root 2 is 2, which is rational. That means the product of two irrational numbers need not be again irrational. It can be rational. Similarly, you can take this example, root 5 and root 5. When you divide, we get 1. So root 5 both are irrational, but when you divide, we get 1, which is rational. So that is the meaning of the statement. Sum, difference, a product, or quotient of any two irrational numbers need not be irrational. That can be rational. Okay, need not be is an important word. That means it is not always going to be rational and it is always not going to be irrational. They can be sometimes rational, sometimes it can be irrational. So that is the important property. So that is the end of proofs of irrationalities and their properties. Okay, so next thing what we're going to see is the exercise 1B. That will be the next video. So I'll be solving around 40 to 50% of the questions in that, and remaining is your assignment. Okay, so after that I'll be talking about certs. So maybe 2 more videos to finish this chapter. Okay, so please go through this. So maybe Thursday you'll be having a live session. So to clarify all your doubts, you please go through the videos given. Okay, so let's wind up. Thank you.